Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Wednesday, June the 19th, 2024. Talked a little bit about Father's Day yesterday. The rest of the week we want to talk about slavery because as the fourth and final Sunday of this round of Did You Ever Have a Question, basically 4 questions left over from last year, we had the question, why was slavery okay if God treated everyone with respect? And so I tried to answer that in my sermon, but I thought I'd share a little bit more about the Bible and slavery. And today and tomorrow, I think, going to use a piece that was written by Benjamin Skolnick, who is the rabbi of Temple Beth Shalom in Hamden, Connecticut. He holds a PhD in Bible from the Jewish Theological Seminary and is the editor-in-chief of the Conservative Judaism magazine. And he basically mentions, the first mention we see, he points out, of slavery is actually in Exodus 21. When you acquire a Hebrew slave, it says, he shall serve 6 years. In the 7th year he shall go free without payment. If he came single, he shall leave single. If he had a wife, his wife shall leave with him. If his master gave him a wife, and she has borne him children, the wife and her children shall belong to the master, and he shall leave alone. But if the slave declares, I love my master and my wife and children, I do not wish to go free, his master shall take him before God. He shall be brought to the door or the doorpost. His master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall then remain his slave for life. And so, kind of a good news, bad news kind of a thing. Yes, you're a slave for 6 years, 7th year you go free, but if your master provided you with a wife and then there was also children born in that time, they don't get to go free. And if you want to stay with them and you want to stay with your master, you can become a slave for life. Deuteronomy, though, he says, offers a more humane version, and compare this to what I just read. This coming again from Deuteronomy. If a fellow Hebrew man or woman is sold to you, he shall serve you 6 years. In the 7th year you shall set him free. When you set him free, do not let him go empty-handed. Furnish him out of the flock, threshing floor, and vat with which the Lord your God has blessed you. Bear in mind that you were slaves in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. Therefore I enjoined this commandment upon you today. But should he say to you, I do not want to leave, for he loves you and your household is happy with you, you shall take an awl and put it through his ear into the door. He shall become your slave in perpetuity. When you do set him free, do not feel aggrieved, for in the 6 years he's given you double the service of a hired man. Moreover, the Lord your God will bless you in all you do. And so as Rabbi Skolnick points out, the later Deuteronomic text is seemingly more humane than that of Exodus and represents, therefore, some moral progress. But then he wants to take the discussion a step further, he writes, to the texts concerning slavery in Egypt, in Exodus rather, in Deuteronomy. He's going to now add the laws of manumission, or the setting free of slaves. That's to be found in Leviticus 25, verses 39 to 55. As he points out, Leviticus seemingly goes further. If your kinsman under you continues in straits, literally, if your brother becomes poor, and must give himself over to you, do not subject him to the treatment of a slave. He shall remain with you as a hired or bound laborer. He shall serve with you only until the Jubilee year. Then he and his children with him shall be free of your authority. He shall go back to his family and return to his ancestral holding. For they are my servants, whom I freed from the land of Egypt. They may not give themselves over into servitude. You shall not rule over him ruthlessly. You shall fear your God. The Jubilee, of course, was every 50 years that all the debts were erased and everybody was set free. As it continues, if your brother becomes poor, as Skolnick points out, is a crucial clause. Even in early Israelite tribal society, brother was not only the son of your parent, but also a kinsman. Just as an Israelite was obligated to protect, redeem, and avenge his brother, he also had these obligations to a kinsman. So, as he points out, there's no such thing there then as an Israelite slave. Here in Leviticus 29, however, the term brother means all Israelites, so not just a kinsman. This is a breakthrough of earth-shaking proportions, he says. I am my brother's keeper, and all Israelites are my brothers. So if one of them falls into destitution, I must do everything that I can to raise him out of his desperate straits. In other words, no Israelite may become a slave. All Israelites are servants of God. God took the people of the house, out of the house of bondage in Egypt to be free, not to be slaves. Just as the earth is the Lord's and is not ours to possess, so all Israelites belong to God and may not be possessed by other human beings, not by other Israelites, and especially not by non-Israelites. Leviticus is very clear, he says. There is no such thing as an Israelite slave. So he's going to go in a little bit more detail tomorrow, so hold that thought. He's going to explain a little bit why these differences between Exodus and Leviticus and Deuteronomy. But that'll have to wait until tomorrow. Have a great day today. We'll talk to you then, or you can listen to me then. All righty, take care. Bye-bye.